How's it going, everybody? I want to thank everybody for their continued support, and if just a massive thank you for hanging out with me and sticking with me over time. As you can see, we have finally hit 10,000 subscribers. I know it may not sound like a lot compared to some other channels that have tens of millions, but for being a tech channel that's pretty specific as to what the content that I put out, I think we're doing pretty good, and we've only been out for 6 or 7 years, I think. So I think that's pretty good. It's a little bit more than 1,000 subscribers a year. I have some ideas to change that in the future, and I'm going to be looking at doing some things, doing some adding some content on a more regular basis, and and geared to different levels. So. I still want to do my deep dives like I've been doing and stuff like that, but I find that the more specific I get, the obviously the less and less views it gets. Unless they're gonna watch the video, and I might only get one view out of that particular video for that one person, or maybe a couple. So yeah, I am trying to grow the channel more and become more useful to a wider audience, and so I gave some thought, and I look at some other YouTubers that are out there that have 60, 70,000 subscribers, and I'm like, okay, you're doing technical stuff too, but what are you doing different than what I'm doing? And I'm trying to be a little more flexible and stuff like that on the content that I put out. So what I've decided to do, I'm trying to get over this cold. I feel like I have to cough right now, so bear with me. I want to go out and start doing content that's geared at all levels, or at least more than just doing a bunch of material on a particular technology. Like, for instance, I just released a handful of videos on DMVPN, and they seem to be pretty well received, but DMVPN has been covered. So I want to start doing some stuff that isn't geared to a certification, but is geared to something that somebody might actually need, regardless of what that is. And it doesn't have to be Cisco specific either. I like to get into Palo Alto and some other things, and I have access to a lot of images that I can bring into Eve and do a lot of prep that way, so that I can test a lot of stuff out. Now, I do have a upcoming exam for CCIE that's coming in the very near future. I'm actually pretty close to taking the lab. I won't give a specific date, but I will post when I obviously once I pass, because I have to have the mentality that I'm going to pass, because I've been going at it for so freaking long that in my mind, how could I fail? So I look at it as, how can I bring more to the channel than what I've been doing, and I've been my upload cycle. I was trying to think of a word. My upload cycle is all goofed up. Like, I might upload here, I might upload here, I might go weeks without an upload, and then obviously that messes with my, how my channel analytics go, and where I pop up in terms of where stuff will be. So I'm trying to change that, and one thing that I don't do, I have to close out a couple of notifications because they're just bugging me. I want to be able to bring more to the channel. So I'm planning on doing some more entry level stuff in terms of like intro to this, or what is networking, and what is that type of stuff. So like introduction to networking, what is switching, what is routing, that type of stuff, more entry level type stuff, and then have that as a baseline. So have like a more of an entry level, and not like CCNA, but even lower than that, so that somebody that's coming to the channel for the first time, they're not bombarded by deep dive stuff only. They could look at it, and I'm gonna have a playlist I'm gonna just add stuff to it as I'm going along for entry level networking. So what is this? What is that? How does this work? That type of stuff. And then at the same point in time, I'll add content that's a little bit deeper. So I'm working on right now learning SD-WAN, and because I've really never dealt with that before. when it comes to Viptela's implementation. So I've got some training on that I'm going through. I'll be releasing some content on that here in the near future, and stuff like that. But that's my main goal, and I can't wait until I'm past the lab. I've got that underneath my belt, and then I can go do some stuff that I haven't done before, like SD-WAN, and play with it. I really want to be able to roll out some routers and really dive into some technologies and produce some content that's just technology specific. And so, like for example, I really want to dive into and play with technology specific stuff, and I want to take the whole certification thing and out the window. I don't want to talk about certifications for a while because I'm been in the game for so long that I want to change up the way that the channel is received. I want it to be more, real world use case specific. So I'm planning on doing that, and I've had a lot of questions come in from viewers of, well, how does this work with this, or how does that work with that? I've had one guy who just keeps beating me up on Twitter, and he keeps asking me to. He asks lots of people this one question, and it's become very, very obvious that he's having a problem with IPsec VPNs with 2 endpoints behind NAT, which I've never done it. So it's like, why would you do that? I was like, you should never put DMVPN behind NAT, in my opinion. But that's a whole other situation altogether. But I want to go through and create some material, go through deep dive a particular technology. Do a Lisp deep dive. Do a you're gonna laugh at me, but I'm gonna put it out there. Do an IWAN deep dive because they're still out there, and I have the operating systems to play with it, and stuff like that. Then do some Nexus, and then do some do ASA and Firepower and ICE and a bunch of other stuff, and just have the stuff on the channel as a reference. And one thing that I've been wanting to do is do a crawl, walk, run approach to it, and take it from the perspective of, here's entry level information on this particular feature or topic, whatever it might be. Let's say, for instance, it's SD-WAN. What is SD-WAN? And then go into that detail. And then from there, go into a little bit more depth and stuff like that, and what could you replace SD-WAN, or what would SD-WAN replace? And I know everybody's going, well, MPLS, right? I'm like, well, no, not really. People bash MPLS a lot, and I don't understand why. Because if you really understood what SD-WAN was trying to do and how narrow of a focus SD-WAN really is in the grand scheme of networking, you'd be like, oh yeah, Rob, I see where you're coming from. And I plan on covering that because it's not very well understood. And I plan on bumping up the amount of effort that I put into the content because I'm trying to grow the channel, and as well as simplifiednetworking.com. And I'm trying to get the lungs to get rid of whatever garbage they have in them. I've been off I felt great for the past few weeks, but I got remnants of something. But beyond that, guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to come out here and talk about. So I'm gonna, as always, leave the comment section open for anyone that wants to add anything in there. And it's cool with whatever you throw in there. I plan on doing some stuff in terms of, like I said, the introductory level of like networking 101. What is this? What is that? I'm not going to get into like what is subnetting, what's a MAC address, how's a MAC address built, things like that, because that's already been done. But I want to try to do my own variation of a lot of more introductory level type stuff and more real world specific. Like I said, I don't want to be a certification channel. I mean, that's what it's been for the longest time, and I really don't like the connotation because it's not really yes, I'm certified, but I don't want it to be a certification only channel where people go, oh, you want to learn how to get certifications, go find Rob's channel and have him go dive into his stuff. He'll get you certified. And it's not really what I want you to do, because at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that I put out is I don't want that to be the driver. Could you use it for certifications? Sure. Is that the goal? Maybe. But more or less, I want you to know how something works. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't matter how many certifications you have, if you can't get the job done, then what good does a certification do for you? So beyond that, guys, that's pretty much what I want to do. And I'm trying to keep this video shorter, but I have a tendency of rambling, as you can tell, and stuff like that. But I really don't like, and if I can be completely honest with you, these well rehearsed and really polished videos. I have a hard time with that, and what I have a hard time with is somebody spending, unless your main job is YouTube, which my main job is not YouTube. I really have a hard time, especially when I'm certifying. I make mistakes, and I had to learn from those mistakes. So I want to take the stuff that I go, oh, well, I shouldn't have done that because that's going to screw stuff up. Or I do this instead. I don't want it to be so super clean that it's, it goes swimmingly well, because then it's too good. And to me, if you're not, to me, YouTube's free. Like, I don't charge for anything, any of the access. So to me, there's going to be a level of, oh, Rob wasn't expecting that. I want to maintain that rawness of the videos and not be so super clean that, I spend weeks preparing for a 20-minute video, because the payoff for me isn't there. To me, it's not worth my effort to put in that much effort for a video on YouTube that only gets a couple hundred hits. If it only gets a couple hundred hits, then it definitely was not worth my time to put that much level. Does the demonstration work flawlessly? Sure. But will I get tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of views on the video? Probably not. So a lot of time, like, I have some videos on the channel that are only like VMware MPLS VPNs. When I announced that I passed my CCIE, and a couple other setting up the V5 lab when I was starting to study for CCIE. Those got multiple thousands of views, but not one video of mine has crossed 100K and the 100,000 views. So to me, I don't want to put the amount of effort into something if it's not going to pay off. Now, on the flip side of that, if I put out some content and you guys start blowing it up, then I'm going to know whatever I'm doing is working, and that's where you guys have to let me know. Because if I take a week to demo or plan something out, and I take a couple of hours to make sure it's really going to work, and then I put the video out and it only gets 200 or 300 views, then I'm not going to want to put that much effort into something, right? At least, look at it from my perspective. You might be looking at it from, I've had some people come across the channel that I used to deal with in some study groups that I were in. They were just plain old fashioned nasty, and be like, well, I would never pay if this is going to be that. And I'm like, well, I quite frankly don't give a crap. It's YouTube, it's free content. If you get what you get, if something's working well, then great. If something doesn't go swimmingly, I'm never going to put out content so crisp that you're going to be like, well, you should be charging for this. If I'm putting out content that is that good, then I'm going to be putting on my own channel or my own site that I'm going to charge you access for. But the problem is you're never going to pay for it, so you're never going to get to view it. So it'd be, again, a waste of my time. So I'm trying to come up with some other ideas and be more open. I would like to. Am I at 15 minutes yet? Not quite. I would like to do kind of a live thing every once in a while, maybe once a month for a couple hours, and stuff like that. And then you guys could tell me what do, like a live schedule, or I'm sorry, a regular schedule. I come live. You guys mention some topics you'd love to see covered, and then we can do a live chat. I did it a couple times. It seemed to go well. But it was more like, it's just like, well, you know what? Why don't we just go live? Because I can. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to be more dynamic on the channel and see what can come out of that. So if you guys have any ideas as to what you'd like to see and stuff like that, be more than, please leave a comment down below. And other than that, guys, I really want you guys to know that I appreciate all the subscribers that are here. And if you have not already done so, hit the subscribe button below, hit the notification bell so you get more updates. I promise I'll have content coming out more consistently, but because of the fact that I have a CCA lab scheduled, I really don't have time. So it just happens to be that I crossed 10,000 subscribers, so I'm like, well, I kind of have to do something. So, and it's not a chore. I've wanted to do this video for a couple days now, but I've just been busy with other things. And once the CCA lab is come and gone, then I'll have more time to spend and spin up things and talk about whatever and kind of go back to the roots of what I used to do and, go through all the details of that and stuff like that. So with that being said, guys, thanks again for everybody for being a subscriber. If you are subscribed, thank you for being a subscriber. If you are not, why not become one, right? So one thing that's cool that I'm working on trying to get there, and at this rate it'll take me another 14 years at this rate, is to hit 30,000 subscribers. Because when you hit 30,000 subscribers, you get the join capability, and I get to charge you guys to gain access, so that you would be able to get premium content. We'll see what that looks like in the future. Hopefully, we'll hit. My goal right now is 20,000. It might seem like a far-fetched goal, but if you kind of hit to set them kind of high in order to get there, so I'm like I said, I'm trying to come out with more content that's more geared to the entry level because it's more palatable for the greater audience, and then still have the higher level content as well. So I'm looking at putting in playlists together to where it's going to be the entry level stuff, and then more of an intermediate, and then maybe your more advanced routing or more advanced topics and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens, and I'm going to definitely put in, if it's going to be a set of videos for a particular technology or feature or capability, then it'll be labeled as such, like ICE or SD-WAN or VPNs or what have you. So until next time, guys, thank you so much again for stopping by and hanging out with me. If you watch this video to the end, you rock. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will be more than happy to cheer the comment and stuff like that. Well, until next time, guys, take it easy.